But yeah, let's go ahead and inspect our memories and start off with door number 4. And I think we're in 10 something. We're in the year 1097, 96. I don't remember. Set it on a pot. Set it on. And also pour water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it. Even every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with the choice bones. Take the choice of the flock, and burn also the bones under it. And make it boil well, and let them see the bones of it therein. Thus saith the Lord. Woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. Oh, it's the white-haired girl. Where is she? Where did she go? She came down this way. I'm sure of it. Find her. Find her. And burn her. Burn the witch. 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 God damn, guys. Burn her. Burn her. Burn her. I think we get the point. Then I will leave thee upon the land. I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and will cause all the fowls of the heaven to remain upon thee. And I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with thee. And I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains, and the river shall be full of thee. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land. I seem to have lost them. Hey, Lolliot! Now, where am I? Where should I go from here? What am I to do? Darkness spreads as far as the eye can see. I'm doing pretty well, Lolliot. How have you been? All that strokes my cheek are tendrils of darkness. Every passing day, every fading hour, my world is engulfed in ebony. There exists no kindness in the shadow, only solitude. I have lost track of how long I've been on the run. Doing good, just a bit tired. I feel that. I feel that. I was up till 2 a.m. last night. Yeah, there was just build issues with a game I'm trying to help publish. Hopefully the build issues will be resolved very soon. I'll announce more about the game I'm publishing once we're able to publish it. Wandering aimlessly, lost, until I arrive at this dark forest. I no longer have anywhere to go. Oh wait, this is the white-haired girl's narration. Wait, is this door gonna follow her? Because I don't think we had narration by her earlier. I mean, we had narration of the Maid, you know, talking over the stories of doors 1 through 3. But I think this is the white-haired girl's narration. Like, usually the Maid speaks for her. So are we hearing her words? O Father, who art in heaven, I kneel to thee within my heart, and ask of thee thy blessing. O Father who art in heaven, I ask thee to shine thy light upon me and show the way. Oh my god, you're going straight to the mansion. You are going straight to the mansion. Please have mercy upon my soul. O Father who art in heaven, I do love thee dearly. Hallowed be thy name. Please show me the way. I may be shunned and persecuted, and I may have no place to go. But nevertheless, I am unable to give up on life, to cast aside my hope. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me onto salvation. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me. I can no longer remember when my life became not but running, when it became endless wandering in the dark. And now, when I've reached the point where I've long since forgotten my hunger and thirst, my voice has become hoarse, and my vision gone blurry, and my consciousness begun sinking into a hazy morass. That mansion appears before me, wrapped in a morning fog that seems to foretell rain. Oh! Whoa! That's cool. Okay, that's cool. Oh, wow. Huh. Isn't me or the production quality between the doors getting better and better? Oh my. The mansion comes into view, like the world fading in after a dream. It doesn't appear as though anyone lives here. All the windows are either boarded up or shuttered, as if it's long since been abandoned. A tower, which seems out of place in a personal residence, stands tall beside the mansion. The whole building seems as though it could disappear with the fog. It has an unwelcoming presence, freezing me in my tracks. However, if this is where you have led me, then I shall follow your guidance. Having nowhere else to go, this mansion is my only salvation, the light that guides my way. And so I must have faith that no matter what I find, whether spirits or wild beasts dwell within these walls, that this is where I will find peace. Is anyone there? I guess it is abandoned. That makes sense. It would be more unusual for someone to be living in a house so deep in the woods, so far from civilization, like it's been forgotten to time. I can't imagine anyone spending their days here. I place my hand on the front door. What if I can't get in? I very much doubt I'll find anywhere else to stay wandering around through the woods. If the door doesn't open, then I'll die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I'm not ready to forfeit my life yet. I love the colors and the art style. Oh yeah, it really stands out. Like, it kind of reminds me of like those color editions of old classic books from Europe. Like, think about, I've been reading a lot of Frankenstein recently, so I'm going to bring up Frankenstein. Think about Frankenstein and the classic literature editions of the book with the illustrations. Some of them came out with colors, like a lot of them were ink paintings. However, some of them came out with colors, and it really reminds me of the colors of those. Please open. The door is heavy, and though it seems to protest my attempts to enter, it still opens much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I get the strangest impression light is being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. Rather than going inside, it feels as though I'm about to step outside the boundaries of this world. That's an accurate description of this mansion. When I close the door, it's so dark I can't even tell where I'm walking. I wonder if the window's open. Though I managed to fumble my way over to a window, it's tightly shuttered, and the shutters are caked with rust. I'm probably not getting it open without a fight. If only I had some source of light. I can't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It feels like the floor will fall out from under me, and I'll sink into eternal darkness if I don't watch my step. Fighting back that fear, I slowly walk forward, tracing the wall with my hand. There's a door at the end of a long corridor. I pull it open, and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushes past me. It's too dark to see anything, but I can feel something different present in this area than the rest of the house. Uneasiness grips me. Is anybody here? My voice simply disappears into the void. No response. As I'm pushing forward through the freezing air, for a split second, I spot a shimmer of light. Squinting my eyes, I am able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it's not shuttered, but covered by drapes. My chances are slim, I imagine, but if there's even a slight possibility of getting some light in here, it's worth a shot. So I pull open the drapes. Whoa! Oh, that's the mural. Yeah, that's the mural. The next moment, faint but colorful light shines down upon me. Well, technically it's stained glass. It's a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I can hear the subtle pitter-patter of rain. I guess it finally started. The different colors of light blend into a milky white, dim but wondrous. Stained glass. It's gorgeous. Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it'd be... Please do not touch the drapes. Wait a second, did we read this before? Or the windows. I feel like this seems familiar. Suddenly, I hear a voice, and I can sense someone else in the room. The man's voice is emotionless, neither deep nor high. Before long, he comes into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight. It's Michel. It's Michel. Michel. I forgot the pronunciation. Daddy is here. Oh my god. Daddy. All right. First, yeah. Oh, Michel. Michel. Or Michel? I think it's Michel. I'm sorry for coming in uninvited. Okay, this is... I feel like we've ran into this situation before. But, I did announce myself. The man stands there, practically blending in with the darkness. Has he been there the whole time? He's staring straight at me. His gaze wavers slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. The candle in his hand and the light from the stained glass window are the only illumination in the room, neither of which are particularly bright. Mirror or painting, no? Yeah, because we looked into the mirror and we got a memory of the... Well, I don't know if it's a memory of the past. Well, it's the mansion's past. And Michel showed up. And now we also got the painted memory, and I believe that was Michel and someone. Okay, so this is interesting. We are kind of seeing something for the second time here. This is definitely deliberate. This is definitely deliberate, because if you looked into the mirror, you kind of already had this scene already. As a result, his outline is faint and blurred. It gives off the impression that he might vanish entirely between blinks. My apologies. I assumed the house was abandoned. I suspect you would have preferred it to be abandoned. Not at all. Is this, do you live in this mansion? Yes. I have for a very long time. I thought I had barred the front door, but it would seem I left it open. What brings you here? If you're lost, I am happy to give you directions. There is a village west of here. It should take you maybe half a day on foot. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. Trade it for food at the village, and then make your way to a larger town. Please allow me to stay here. Could you repeat that? I cannot go to the village. No, I cannot go anywhere. I am no longer able to freely return to any town. Top 10 fictional characters of all time, by the way, for me. Okay. I'm very curious to learn more about Michel. I'm being hunted. You seem rather young to be a sinner. So you have transgressed. I am neither a thief nor an adulterer. If I bear any sin, then it has to be with me since birth. I will do everything I can to stay out of your way. I simply ask that you grant me shelter until it all blows over. If you wish to know of my transgression, I will tell you. So please, do not throw me out. I see. And do you ask this of me aware of how people refer to this mansion? Pardon? It is said that a witch once lived in this house. And not just any witch. A curse witch. This house has been tainted by her seething hatred, and all who dwell within it meet their demise. But you live here, don't you? Like her, I am too cursed. They speak very old, like it's the 10s, right? I forgot. Yeah. So they're going to be speaking a very old English here. At least that's what I'm reading. So it's going to be a bit difficult at times for me to read stuff because I'm just not used to old English. I am a product of the 21st century, so the 9th century is going to be pretty hard for me to read from. Huh? What kind of curse? The one thing I can tell you is that your life is in danger if you get involved with me. Should you approach my curse, I am likely to take your life. You'll kill me? Yes, so you do not belong here. To live with me in this mansion is to sentence yourself to death. No matter what path I choose, I very much doubt I have a future. And if that's the case, then I shall live how I want. Yeah, English is my third language, and trust me, it's even harder. Oof. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah. English may be my first language. I'm still not great at it. It's mainly because I'm a phonetic learner, and English is not kind to phonetic learners. Like, it's a weird thing to even say, because I grew up in an English-speaking environment, but I actually took a lot of classes meant for people who have English as a second language because of my phonetic way of talking. Yeah, a lot of the times when I sound very strange whenever I pronounce things, it's because I try to think of the phonetic way of, reading something. And I have to, take guesses sometimes when I read another language. I'm like, okay, what kind of pronunciation does this language have? Because for me, I'm reading this very phonetically. So yeah, Old English, I don't think is phonetic. It could be more phonetic, so it might be easier for me to read. However, yeah, I'm a phonetic reader, so even though English is my first language, I read everything phonetically and I have to remember pronunciations. Yeah, I have a really interesting way of interpreting languages, which is part of the reason why Japanese kind of comes a bit easier to me, because it's quite phonetic as a language. Meanwhile, a language like Mandarin gets very difficult because of tones. Like, tones are super hard for me. I also can kind of get the hang of Indonesian pronunciation because it's a bit more phonetic and there's not a lot of, like, grammatical rules. I could go more into the linguistics topic at another time, however, I'm gonna get back to the game, but yeah. Japanese is very sugoi. Yeah. Demo Nihongo ga muzakashi desu ne. I don't care what people say about you or this mansion. I wish to stay here. Hi. You might think I'm rather strange, but my heart tells me that I must stay here, that I was guided here. And hearing what you have to say only reinforces that. What are you scheming? I am not scheming anything. I am simply tired of running. So if your curse is going to kill me, then perhaps that's for the best. At the very least, you won't be hunting me. You won't try to flame me, or tear off my arms, or rip the flesh from my bones. And that's enough for me. If you have committed no sin, then why do they hunt you so fervently? I am accused of being a witch. And that's how the white-haired girl was allowed to stay. Oh, the maid. Master. Master. Please, wake up. Return to me. Ah, have you come too, Master? I apologize for sending you through the door without warning. It must have given you quite the scare. But I beg your forgiveness. I heard a terrible screaming from down the stairs, and I panicked. You say you saw the white-haired girl? I see. So you made it into the world beyond the door before me. I am deeply relieved that I was able to take your hand before losing sight of you. I presume you have already grown familiar with the atmosphere of this time period, Master. If you have seen her, as you said, then you should have a basic grasp of the situation. She was a very misfortunate girl in this era, accused of being a witch, abused and persecuted. Her life was in constant danger. Sometimes the maid scares me. She is eerie. Like, a lot of characters do say she is a super eerie character. It was, again, her appearance that brought this upon her. That snow-white hair and those ruby-red eyes clearly differentiated her from everyone else. Oh, and I apologize. I neglected to mention that this door is unique. As for what sets it apart, that will be made clear as we proceed. So one difference is in the time period. The tales I have shown you began with that of the flaxen-haired family, followed by the bloodthirsty beast, and then the tale of steel and ambition, proceeding in chronological order. However, the door we have just entered takes us to the period now known as the Middle Ages, long, long before the other three tales. Yes, that is correct. This is where it all began. The mansion's curse, the truth of the witch, and your identity. All of this should be made known. If after this tale, you are still unable to reclaim your old self, then there is nothing more I can do. This door contains the last tale I am able to tell you. So I ask of you, please do not let go of my hand until it is all over. Now then, let us begin a beautiful, tragic love story of two solitary souls trapped in a mansion of darkness. In that era, the mansion was a dungeon draped in darkness. After a great deal of time on the run, the white-haired girl found herself at a remote mansion that stood in a dark, overgrown forest. All the windows were either boarded or shuttered, and it was even darker inside the house than out. Not even a ray of moonlight could enter those walls. Only naturally, the white-haired girl had assumed that nobody lived there. But her guess was incorrect. Someone did, indeed, dwell in the house. It was a young man named Michel. Though she could not make out the details of his face in the candlelight, she thought him a very handsome man. However, he proclaimed to her that a witch resided within the mansion, and that he too was cursed. Everyone who got close to him lost their lives. Do you think that what he told her was all nonsense? A lie devised to chase her out of the house? The truth of the matter shall come to light in time. Despite Michel's assertions, the white-haired girl decided she would take up residence within the mansion. This era's white-haired girl was younger than the others. She was still in her early teens, young enough to be seen as still a child. But she was neither as self-centered nor irresponsible as you might expect of someone of her age. She was very delicate and reserved, and acted with a great deal of modesty and restraint. The accusations of her being a criminal and a sinner were grossly inappropriate. Nevertheless, she was still chased from her home, barely managing to flee to this mansion with her life. Now, the white-haired girl thought it would be rude to simply take up space in the mansion, so she chased down the master, Michel, and asked, is there anything I could do to help? I will clean or cook or do anything. Just let me know. I want to repay you for allowing me to stay here. You need not feel indebted to me. The weight of that obligation will only turn it into disdain. But I can't just stay here and do nothing. Do whatever you like. As long as you do not enter my room. That is all I have asked of you. He sat emotionlessly, turning away and walking off. Michel was not, I believe, spurning her. He was merely disinterested. He did not treat her disrespectfully, nor did he seem averse to her presence. Words simply did not seem to affect him at all. Not only was the mansion a prison for his body was also a prison ensnaring his heart. I should still do whatever I can. But she did not let that get her down. In fact, she might have even interpreted his disinterest as kindness. Though he was a bit standoffish, he did not attempt to cause her harm. He was nothing like the people who had accused her of being a witch and forced her to flee for her life. And she was deeply grateful for that. Thus began their quiet life together. Michel, who avoided contact with others, and the white-haired girl, who had taken a great deal of abuse from others. Two people who hardly knew anything about one another, who were too distant to really be said to be living together. Michel spent most of his day in his chambers, so they only ever saw each other occasionally, and they hardly ever spoke. Though they stayed in the same house, they both still lived solitary lives. Nonetheless, the white-haired girl wanted to get to know Michel better. She wanted to know why he called himself cursed. Why he lived alone in this dark mansion. How many days, how many years had he spent here in solitude? I accidentally double-clicked and I decided to look at the other monitor just to see what the line was. And while she waited for the opportunity, she also started doing things around the house. Hey, Thom. Where are you, Thom? Oh, Tom's opening up my curtain. Thom. Sorry, my cat just came in. Hold on. Sorry for interrupting the reading. Hold on. Hey, Thom. Thom. Come on, get up. Get up. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Get up. Hold on. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. It's like I trained him. I did not even train him to do this. He just does this now. Like, he knows. He knows. Yeah, I didn't even train him to do this. He's not even trained. He just gets up here now. Yep. Oh, he wants food. Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Bro, he looks like my cat. I mean, black cats do look similar across the board. Is that a European cat? We are actually not 100% sure what kind of cat Thom is. It is believed by some that he's a Chinese shorthair, actually. Even though he doesn't have, like, the facial shape of a Chinese shorthair. So, yeah, we're not sure if he's European or if he's actually Chinese. And before I continue on with the reading, I will actually feed him real quick because I realize that it's like almost 1 p.m. and he's not been fed yet, I don't think. So let me feed him real quick. There is food in his bowl now. Although he walked away. You're back in here, Thom. He was asking for food and then as soon as I fed him, he just ignored the food. Thom, really? Really, Thom? Really, dude? Dude. Oh, Thom is a peculiar cat. And while she waited for the opportunity, she also started doing things around the house. The first project she set out to take care of was cleaning. What is that doorway? There's a secret doorway right there. Can we see what's in there? We were told by Michel that we were not allowed in his room, but he never said anything about the secret room in the library. I want to know what's in there. Why can't I go in there? As the windows were all firmly shut, her only source of light was the candles. For whatever reason, there was a great deal of candles stored in the cellar. She wondered where on earth had he acquired so many, but she never found the opportunity to ask him. It was difficult to even see all the dust and cobwebs with only candlelight, and considering the poor airflow through the house, she was afraid her efforts were going to be in vain. Still, she persisted, sweeping and wiping things down, one room at a time. Eventually, she made her way into the library. The dust that had settled there was much heavier than any other room. With each breath, she had to fight back coughs. It was not a room one would normally be comfortable spending much time in, but the sight of so many bulky volumes lining the shelves sent her heart aflutter with delight. It's secret. They're books. Incredible. Real books. The white-haired girl had never seen a book before. She had heard people describe them, but that was the first time she had ever seen one for herself. Parchment was a very valuable commodity in that era. It was something monks or scholarly priests had made use of, and not a material one could easily acquire without some degree of social rank. Books were not printed with machines, but copied by hand. A single volume took an incredible amount of work to create. Even the process of binding was an art. Standing before a shelf, she stared intently at the spines. Imagine the people from the 9th century seeing a video game. They would go insane. I think even seeing a digital screen would make them, scream witchcraft. There's so much dust. Does he not read any of them? Just a peek. Just a tiny little peek, she said, making excuses to the empty room as she reached her hand toward one of the books. The tome that caught her eye was on the upper shelf. It bore gorgeous jade embossing and looked like it belonged in a treasure chest. Almost. Though she tended to act older than her age, the white-haired girl was still in her early teens and not especially tall. Even standing tiptoe, it was still just barely within reach. At long last, her slender fingers made contact with the spine, and she began to pull the book toward her. Ha! The library had sat abandoned for some time, causing the covers to stick together. So when she attempted to pull one out, several others tilted with it. And then, almost all the books on the shelf came avalanching down onto her. Ow! Ow! The white-haired girl groaned, buried under a mountain of parchment. She hoped she had not damaged any of her host's valuable collection, for the mess was enough of a setback already in her attempt to express her gratitude. Looking around, she saw one volume that was almost torn in half. She did not know whether it was in that condition before, or if it had happened in the fall. But nonetheless, she felt horribly guilty. Oh man, now this reminds me of... She's like 15 or 16, got it, okay. But this reminds me of one of my first jobs ever, where I was working with a book archival project. Now, I was not the one restoring anything, but I was the one looking through all the old book covers and documenting the year they were made, their publisher, as well as like any other like author information. And there were so many old books with like covers falling apart or ripped pages that I felt so scared whenever I touched them because I did not want to break the book further. Because there were literally pieces of history in that collection that I was working with. Man, it was a really cool job that I had. Like, the job did not last forever because, like, grant money kind of ran out for, like, a person who was only undergrad at the time. But, damn, it was a really, really fun job as an undergraduate when I was in college. Sitting there, unable to get back to her feet, tears began welling in her eyes. Then, suddenly, a shadow fell over the dejected girl. It took a book in its hand and returned it to the shelf. For a brief moment, the shadow's hand reached hesitantly towards the white-haired girl, then changed course toward another book. Oh, Michel cares. Damn, your life is interesting. I mean, it was just a weird job that I took on while in college. Like, I took a lot of weird freelance jobs. Like, half of them I cannot even put on a resume because of NDA or other reasons. But yeah, no, I took on a lot of jobs in college since I was basically self-funding a game at that moment for my senior capstone. Yeah, my senior capstone game's Desecration, to be fully honest, kinda costed me about, like, thousands of dollars, so I took on a lot of work while I was in college just to pay for the project. My team still is mad at me for this very day for taking on a lot of the expenses without telling them. But hey, the game came out really good and also got awards, so it was well worth it. It was Michel. There was a hint of perplexity in his otherwise emotionless eyes. Perhaps he had heard the noise and come to see what had caused it. I'm so sorry. Your books, What were you doing? I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make a mess. I didn't mean to damage such precious books. There's no need to panic. I'm sorry. You make it sound as though I'm admonishing you. What? Did you want to read a book? I do, but that's not what I originally came here to clean. Clean? Yes, I felt guilty simply being idle. I did say you could do it as you pleased, but you have no responsibility to clean anything. I just ended up making a bigger mess anyway. You needed to apologize. Did I double click by accident? I did! Oops! I didn't mean to double click. My mouse might be doing dual input. Like, I recently cleaned out my keyboard, but I have yet to clean out the interior of my mouse, so I might be doing that after stream. Yeah, I do see some dust inside of the clicker, so I might have to open it up. Yeah, it's really fun opening up keyboards and mice to clean them, as well as, like, repair them. Like, that's something that I've been doing as I've been, in between streams and applying for work. You needn't apologize. Okay. If you want to read, help yourself to any of the books. But I don't know how to read. I just thought the cover was pretty, so I wanted to hold it. You're free to use them however you wish. If looking at them is enough for you, by all means. These are all your books, aren't they? They are. That's incredible. You have so many. It must have taken you a long time to acquire them all. 1 per month. What? My family sends me one every month. Every month? The white-haired girl turned her gaze back toward the shelves, squinting her eyes, and beginning to count. When she finished, she was in awe. So wait, you don't know how to read, but you know how to count? Okay, I guess in the 9th century, counting was more important than reading to many people, so I understand where she might be able to know how to count. That's just weird, though. Because I feel like... Okay, yeah, I knew how to count when I was younger, but I feel like I learned how to read at the same time I learned how to count. Maybe that's just modern education, though. I mean, modern education also shows that a lot of kids don't know how to read nowadays. Ah! There were in excess of 100 books on the shelves, which meant he had lived there in solitude for many years. She was at a loss for words. Their dull tomes, dreadfully inoffensive, and not even interesting enough to waste a few hours with. Decoration is all they're good for. I see. They didn't have books or anything before that much. Yeah. Like, that's probably, like, I was too quick to judge on that one. If you could put them to some use, then perhaps my having them won't be entirely meaningless anymore. I am going to return to my room. Don't feel obligated to clean up. Just a minute. Was there something else? Could you tell me your name? I just realized I never asked for your name. Not knowing what to call you will make conversation awkward. You don't need my name to. I want to, though. Michel. Michel? Like the Archangel. The name suits you quite well. It suits me? It does. Although it's difficult to see you in the dark. You seem to be a very handsome man, befitting of your name. I beg to differ. Also, it's very interesting seeing that his name is based off of the Archangel, since technically I also have, like, you know, the same name based off of the same Archangel. It's just that I have an A before the E. What if you tell your name, white-haired girl? What is your name, white-haired girl? That's a very good question. Well, Michel asked, though. Giving me his name is the highest form of mockery. I expect the real Archangel is probably rather annoyed by it. I have no comment whether or not the Archangel is happy that I share his name. I don't know. I think it's a wonderful name. And your... No. Never mind. Oh, my name. Are we gonna hear the name? My name is... Giselle! That's the name I believe we saw earlier. Yeah, we got the memory of the name Giselle, didn't we? Yeah, wait, is her name actually Giselle? Huh. Interesting. Giselle. I don't know why, but something feels off about her being Giselle after all this time. I don't know why, but it feels off to me. Please. Call me Giselle. Like, if she was the Giselle in the memories, why did she not show up? Is it because she was like 15, 16? Because her character art is not showing this chapter so far. So in that scene, was she like 15 or 16 and they did not show her art? But that's weird because in previous parts of the game, they showed the younger art of some of the characters outside of Hakupo and Maria. I don't know why, but something feels off about this. Like, I feel like it would be a bit more cinematic when her name's revealed. This feels a little low-key. And she's still referred to as the white-haired girl in her text box. She's still the white-haired girl in the text box, not Giselle now. I'm keeping an eye on that. I don't know why, but I have high suspicion of this. Oh, thank goodness. For what? That I was able to get your name and talk to you for a little bit. We haven't seen much of each other since I first arrived, so I'm glad that I got to hear your voice. So very glad. You gain nothing by speaking to me. You have no responsibility to do so, and there is no need for you to feel joy about it. I am not pleased out of some sense of responsibility or necessity. Weird, innit? Yeah, it is weird. It's just depressing, not being able to have a conversation with someone living in the same house. Now, this could be for budgetary reasons why we're not seeing the younger white-haired girl. Budgetary reasons? Wait. That also doesn't make sense, because we've seen other forms of the white-haired girl. Why are we not seeing her, for one? And for two, why did her name not change to Giselle in the text box? This could be tech limits, but I feel like something's going on here, and I can't put my finger to it. But something's weird about this reveal. I mean, this door itself already has a weird vibe to it. Like, something feels uncanny about it, but I can't put my finger on it. You do not understand me at all. As I said on that first day, my curse will one day kill you. Well, we all We all have a day that we must die, Michel. Think, Michael, think. Oh my god, the Omni-Man reference.
But I'm still alive, aren't I?
You are welcome to believe I am lying, or that I am merely out of my mind. But it will be too late when you realize the truth.
I'll be fine, I'm sure. And even if I do die because of your curse, I promise I won't hold a grudge. Could you possibly be keeping away from me, out of concern?
No. I simply have no interest in interacting with anyone.
I would like to interact with you. If you don't mind, that is.
I do mind, thank you very much. Leaves the room. As I told you, you have nothing to gain from that. I have nothing, not even words, to give to you. My body is but a shell, even if I were not cursed. My presence would do naught but cause you discomfort. Me and Michel need to be nerfed.
I don't think that's true. I don't believe that there's anyone in this world with absolutely nothing. There's plenty inside you. You simply haven't noticed it yet. And not all of it will only cause others pain either.
If you truly believe those words, then you are a foolhardy girl. How can you trust someone you only just met? For that matter, how do you not resent everyone?
Resent them?
I can take a guess as to why people call you a witch, and why you had to flee all the way to this mansion. Your white hair and red eyes. That abnormal, seemingly inhuman appearance drew their condemnation. And I could think of any number of reasons they might have started treating you less than human. Perhaps people around you experienced misfortune, or perhaps there was a natural disaster, a famine, a plague, some kind of external phenomenon, and you were their scapegoat.
Yes, you are, by and large, correct.
Then that would make me as unworthy of your trust as anyone else. I make no claim to having your interests in mind. Goodbye.
If you don't mind, could you teach me how to read sometime?
Did you listen to anything I said?
I listened, yes, but I don't care. I have no intention of idolizing you. I don't expect you to do anything for me, but I don't wish to burden you in any way. I simply wish to be allowed to be at your side. It does not matter to me what kind of person you may be. That is all I want. I apologize for keeping you. Please consider it, if it's not too much trouble.
As the master of the house, Michel made his way out of the library. He appeared to be slightly rattled. Perhaps the white-haired girl's determination had ignited something in his chained heart. Or perhaps it was something else. She stared down the darkness into which Michel had disappeared. Then, she carefully wrapped her arms around the jade-embossed tome, a soft smile spreading across her lips.
He's a decent man, I'm sure of it. We're alike, he and I.
And thus began to blossom within her a faint sense of fellowship, as someone who also knew solitude. Okay. That's a interesting sound in between chapters. I mean, as haunting as the previous chapters, that's one thing I'll give it. It's just as haunting. Oh my god, there's so many save states where it's just a blank screen. It looks like my save menu was broken, but it's literally the save spots I have because they always start off with darkness. Oh man. I mean, they can't have art for every single screen of this game, like I will say. It's beautiful for me. Oh yeah, it's haunting but beautiful. Like, when I say the term haunting, that is not a negative term. Like church or something like that. There is a heavy biblical sense this game has. Like, I know that they do mention God as well as, like, you know, the religion of Christianity quite a bit in the story. I do have to say, like, it's not a full Christian story, even though it does involve a lot of Christianity within it. I grew up with a Christian background, so I kind of understand a lot of stuff, though I hardly went to church. Like, I only went to church when my grandparents asked me to, but outside of that, I've not actually stepped foot in a church for, like, over 10 years. I just know the basics of the religion of Christianity. It's also, like, the dominant one in my home country, so... yeah, it's pretty much, like, yeah, I know quite a bit about it. Yeah, so basically this game does have a lot of biblical vibes, well, especially with now Michel being there. Like, Michel's named after the Archangel. But at the same time, though, it's not an inherently religious game, but it has religious themes to it, which makes sense as to why the songs kind of sound like church. At least that's my interpretation of it. Yes, thank you so much for joining us, Laliet. I'm really excited to continue on with door number 4, however, I don't trust it. Especially with what the painting gave us as its warning last time. I don't trust this at all. Something is going on, and something is wrong. And next time, we're going to get to the bottom of it, because something feels off.
Okay.